We are live.
Rise and shine.
Let me do one thing. CG coming in now too.
Here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Give me 1 second. Uh-oh.
I like how you put realtor in front of your name.
I'm just sharing this on my page and then I'll be ready. Oh, okay. All right. I am all set. So good morning. How's everyone doing today?
Oh, it's well. Rise and shine.
Good morning.
All right. So I just wanted to kind of get together. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback.
I hear it.
I'm trying to see. CG, is your volume? Can you hear? I don't know why it's giving that feedback. Okay, so just wanted to jump in this morning, have a little girl talk over some tea. Got my tea here. So I was just telling China, I think you know this too already, CG, that I like cream in my tea. That's like my morning coffee. Hey, Arius. Arius is telling us hi. She's watching us this morning.
Morning, beautiful.
So, anyway, can you just guys kind of introduce yourself to everyone?
Okay.
You want to go first, China?
Yes, I'll go first. Hi, my name is China Parker. I am a lover of life. You know, I'm here. Trying to just be the best version of myself. I'm growing. I'm in the process of learning and transition right now. Doing my best to utilize the time of this quarantine well. But I'm passionate about holistic health and real estate and just growing. And I'm a single mother. I'm 41 and what else can I say? I mean, I'm a go-getter. Okay. We all are. That's why we're here. But that's just a little bit about me in a nutshell. But I would like to think that I bring an air of encouragement and upliftment everywhere I go. That's my mission. So happy to be here.
Okay. And CG?
Good morning, everyone. I am CG. I am a mother of 3. I am soon to be 37 years old, so in Taurus. But same. I am very driven, very focused, very passionate about growth and change, especially in real estate. I am a people's person. I am a lover of all love. So I'm just excited to be able to share my story, share my growth, share my journey with everyone out there. So that's what I'm.
China, they can't believe you're 41.
Yep. Yes. Look, positive energy, positive vibes. It shows.
Yes.
So I'm Andrea, if you don't know me. I am 42 years old, I think. And I am a mother of 4, married to my wonderful husband, Mark Wilson. seems like we always have something going on, very busy, very active, never sitting still. I just kind of think that's just in my nature to not sit still, even when you just create that peace of doing nothing. Um, Very outgoing, love activity, love spreading positivity. Trying to work on this whole health, exercise, work balance, family balance, which is very hard. I've come to grips with the fact that I think that I really do enjoy working. I really enjoy real estate, so I don't mind that work aspect of it. And a lot of times I can get so wrapped up in that work piece of it, and I have to slow down and like, okay, like I'll continue working and miss a time that I'm supposed to go to the gym or do, other activities, and really want to focus in on that. So all of you are moms. Can you just share what are your thoughts about what's the hardest part about being a mom?
Wow. Well, for me, I'll go first since I'm the mother of just one. um, I'm sure you guys have a different insight because you have more than one child. But for me, it's just maintaining that balance. My daughter is now 12, so she's coming into herself. She's interested in friends and things, and I really love the baby phase because you just kind of have more control. You do everything. You control what they see, what they watch, what they're learning. And it's just trying to spend that quality time, and not being such a dictator, like do this, don't do that, don't do this. And just teaching in a way where it creates a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes as parents, we have like a short fuse and, we can, fly off the wall or just say things sharply. And it's not intentional, but it's just really, for me, it's just being mindful and aware. And I really would love to, my daughter's into her favorite music group and she loves to dance. And it's just getting that quality time with her where I want to feel like I'm sewing in and she's sharing, and it's just maintaining that connection with all that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, with work and everything, it's just, like I said, it's just a balance. And then trying to have a positive mindset with it, because as women, we want to do everything. We want to just give to everybody, and we save so little for ourselves. And we give so much of ourselves to our children, whether it is in quality time, it's just working and being able to provide, and making sure they're emotionally okay, and just the balance of that and trying to maintain that for yourself and anyone else is just like, it's a juggle. It's a juggling act.
I definitely agree with that. It's definitely a juggling act. And you do want to give so much to everyone else, and then you kind of leave what's left for yourself. So that part of it is hard. What about you, CG?
For me, so I have three children who are very much so on their own level. I have a daughter who is a senior this year, and soon to be 18. So dealing with that, and then I have a teenage boy and a younger son. So just being able to juggle time and giving each individual the adequate amount of time that they need on the levels that they're on, and what they're experiencing, and tapping into, things that they like and things that they enjoy to do, and making sure that you're present for those times, but also, setting aside time for me. Like, we like to do movie night and game night, and things of that nature, just, to make sure that we keep and continue to tap into that family time. I do like to give them their own individual, time, mommy time with them as well, just, but it's all about balance, because sometimes we get lost in the shuffle, trying to be, the super mom, for me, nurse, nurse, guidance counselor, teacher these last couple of weeks.
Especially now, right?
Especially now. And on top of that, trying to build this business and working from home and still giving them the time that they need and making sure that they're not falling in the cracks with me is, I can only imagine what they're experiencing. Through this time, because we think of it as adults, oh my God, we can't get back to work. Oh my God, this, that, and the third. But I don't think we really take in consideration how this is affecting them as well. You know what I mean? To be able to socialize with their friends and things of that nature. They realize as well how much they look forward to it as well. Going to school, the mornings that we deal with trying to get them up to get them off the school. Now they regret, that no, you're here. You're home all day now. So, but really understanding and considering their emotions at this time too. I try to definitely make sure to stay present, but try to also give balance for myself and to keep my mind on, right? So, yeah.
CG, they're saying like your feedback is off a little bit. Do you have earbuds? I think it's so hollow. Do you have anything like earbuds you can plug in to reduce some of that feedback? While she's doing that and dealing with that, I kind of give my feedback. So I have 4 children. And then on top of having 4 children, I have a husband that I have to dedicate some time to as well. So I have a wide range. My oldest daughter is 20 years old, and so she's in college. And then I have a 15-and-a-half-year-old who's dying for his driver's license and his own car. And then I have a 12-year-old, and then I have a 4-year-old. So because of the different ages, each kid, and even the 20-year-old is still my child, and they all require some form of attention. And it's hard finding that balance on how to, really kind of connect in there and making sure that I'm giving each of them what they need. So when my oldest daughter was younger, it was actually pretty challenging with her, probably around the age of your daughter, China. She just, for me, I felt like maybe it was just, she's a Pisces too. Our birthdays are a couple of days apart. And now let me say this. All of my kids are wonderful. I was blessed in that area I never had any issues with like bad grades or I haven't dealt with that piece of it. But for me, I don't know, it's just her way of just us not, or like butting heads. So I would say, let's have hamburgers today. No, I don't want, like everyone would say, okay, on hamburgers, but she always would have to be the one to say, no, I don't want that. But it didn't matter what it was. If I said, let's go right, she was always going to say, let's go left. And it would drive me crazy because I was struggling trying to figure out how to communicate with her. And so what I just kind of come to realize, it takes spending that one-on-one time, with that individual child to kind of give them and figure out what they need and just continue to talk to them and give them that information that you need. And so now what's happened, it came to a point of being like best friends. So she called me all the time. It's like to the point you'd be like, why didn't you just call me? But it's kind of turned into that. But still with some changes of, her coming into adulthood and trying to really figure out who she is, and still having some, I don't want to say problems, but just some adjustments along the way. But I just feel like, each of you are great moms, and, they have great role models. So it'll all work out in the end. But it really is just finding that balance and giving everyone that individual time. It's not easy. I will tell you that. Like, some people, a lot of times I see people show videos of the mom to get away from her kids. She'll go to the bathroom. Well, my kids, My son, 4-year-old,
in the bathroom with you.
on the toilet, and him standing right next to me. I can't even get in the shower. Him like, oh, it's time for me to take a shower too. So, where you going? Oh, sorry. Do you think that more is expected from each of you as being a female than there's more pressure as being a female than it is being a male?
I think in our community, there's a lot of pressure that is placed on our women. I will say, I mean, I talk with different groups of women, and women feel they have to be everything at once. I mean, you heard it. I mean, what was the Whitney Houston song? I'm every woman, it's all in me. It is all in you, but you don't have to be all of that at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, nowadays, I just feel like it is a lot of pressure on women. You know, the women I come from, my mom, my granny, you know, they were all married, all, you know, taken care of more so. And for me to be out and working and, you know, single as in not married at the time is just a different dynamic. And, you know, for them to, you know, for my granny to be, you know, a housewife, and her experience was just a completely different experience from mine, because she doesn't understand why I can't be everywhere all the time. But it's just like, you know, I can't be everywhere all the time, and that's okay. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to take a day and just say, I got to put myself first today, or I got to just take a break and cut myself off from the world, because we try to just do so much. We try to, you know, now we're taking on more masculine energy, more responsibilities in the work world. We're taking on, you know, children. We're taking on, I mean, even years ago, it wasn't just a go, 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 go. We live in just, it's a never stop microwave society. And unless you know how to unplug and detach yourself, I think you can just go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because you can't just, to balance it all, you really have to just have that spiritual connection and time management, which is like one of the most, you know, biggest keys to the success of being successful as a woman today. Because you have to wear so many hats, you know. And I think it's this, even something like this is so special and important, because it's women coming together. You know, we need each other. We really do. Like, I mean, I don't mind if you sick, you having a rough day, and you need me to bring you some food. Like, that's the type of woman I am. And I feel like we need each other. And especially in this time, it's time to reach out to each other and support each other, because if we come together and support each other, it takes the pressure off. It takes a lot of the pressure off. And you know, that's just my outtake on it. But I just feel like a lot of when we just get caught up in doing too much, and it's okay to just say, you know what, I need my hour, not doing anything. My ringer is off. Nobody can get in touch with me right now. I need my sanity. I need my mind.
What about you, CG?
I totally agree. I do absolutely feel that it's a lot of pressure for us as women. I do think it is so very important to prioritize, though, to keep time for yourself, for your mental state. I absolutely devote every single day of my morning just to myself, just to reconnecting, resetting. I, you know, spend that time praying and meditating, just because I need balance for that day. You know what I mean? I need that time for myself, you know what I mean? So that I can adequately go throughout my day with some form of balance, some form of, you know what I mean? Time for me to mentally reset and have clarity. So I feel it's very important to, you know, have that time for yourself. I mean, have that selfish time, you know, for yourself. If for me, my day just is off if I don't allow myself, you know what I mean, that time. So absolutely.
Do you guys think that there's more pressure on women to stay like fit than it is for than it is for guys?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, a man can have a pot belly,
whatever.
As long as he got a nice car and a bank account and a good credit score, nice rib, he gonna get some play. You know, he he can have 5 kids by 5 different women and still get some play.
It's true. This is unfortunately true. Yes.
Yeah. You know, as women, just our bodies, our temple, we're so judged, and we're like, now we're in a plastic world where people are looking at magazines all day. You're looking at Instagram pictures. I mean, I do photography and stuff from time to time, but I edit these. You know, I really do, you know, so you can have the, you know, the flawless skin or whatever. And it's just, as women, we put pressure on ourselves to look good and to maintain ourselves. I mean, a man doesn't wake up and put on his makeup and his lashes and his girdle and his, you know, heels. Like, we do so much to look good. Even on this video, it's just like you're presenting yourself. We're constantly presenting ourselves to the world, and we're being judged on it.
Yeah. Do you think there's a lot of pressures? Because, man, even the workout, some of the workout ladies I'm seeing, they're having surgery. They're having, and I don't have, to each his own with any of this. They're having surgery. They're having, you know, boob jobs. They're having booty injections. Do you guys feel that there's a pressure to having that perfect body, and you have to go those routes to make it perfect?
I don't feel pressure that you have to go those routes to make it perfect. But I do feel that when you feel like you look good, it can help you feel better. You know, let's just take the example of when you don't have your hair done, don't have your nails done, don't have on an outfit you desire. You got on, you know, your old raggedy panties that day. And, you know, it's just, you feel a certain way. So if Barack and Michelle Obama was to knock on your door at that moment, you'd be like, oh no. But if you know, all dialed up to the nines, you know, hair, you went and got your hair done, maybe got a massage, you know, you feeling good. I just think it uplifts you and makes you feel better. But as women, like looking at women that work out online and things, I think one of the biggest disservices that we do as women is compare ourselves to each other. And we feel that pressure. Like, I mean, I think younger women may feel it more so than our generation, but they look at, you know, the Kylie Jenners and people that have completely transformed, like from day and night, transformed themselves. And they may feel that, but when you really just love yourself and want to be the best you, it's priceless. I mean, I know women that I don't even really consider attractive, like just to look at them or maybe the way they dress, but it's just something about them. And it's like, dang, she got it going on. Yeah. And it's nothing about her, you know, she could be overweight, she could be whatever. It's just something, those attractive qualities. And when you tap into your niche and appreciate and really love yourself, then I think you glow. I don't care if you've had, you know, surgeries or not. When you really just love yourself and allow your inner you to shine, you gonna glow.
I'm sorry. How have you guys been holding up during this quarantine period?
Did you want to go, CG?
Sure. I mean, with me, I will say that I am grateful that I am still able to get out and, you know, to be out with my clients and have times out as far as that aspect. But for me, honestly, my focus has been on my kids. Just to make sure that at this time, because it has to be tough for them. For me, especially my daughter, you know, it's really rough for her all of this time to be so excited about prom and graduation. And for now that to be something that she has to experience virtually, it's tough. It's pretty tough. And even with my boys, you know, things that they were looking forward to as far as football and sports, and things of that nature for this summer, which is disappointing, to know that your whole summer, what you were looking forward to doing, has come to a halt. So I know that I get the time and the freedom and luxury to get out, but for them, like I said, they've been my focus, just trying to make sure I'm there for them in this tough time, and to, let them know that we'll get through this, and just really focus on them and our family time, and trying to make sure that I am reaching out to everybody, because everybody is receiving this so differently on so many different levels. We're in a position where, yes, we're able to jump on here or to get out, but there are a lot of people who are not accepting this as well as we are, who are worried about finances and bills and work, and things of that nature. So, my mission through this time is to help and uplift people and reach out and speak and be there for everyone as best as I can, just because everybody's not in that position. So just making sure I'm doing my part, making sure that, I am available for people who if it's just a shoulder to lean on, or, a video, or, just to let them know that I'm there for them, because we really need each other at this time. We really do. So just making sure I'm available for that. And so.
Okay. So if you guys could put up a giant billboard, what would it say?
If I could put up a giant billboard, what would it say?
Would you say, I'll give people like a motivational quote?
A motivational quote. Look, I'm long-winded, but I just feel like, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like, don't tell everyone your dreams. Show them.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. That's good. For me, if I had a giant sign, I would just say, let your light shine. Just be you to your fullest potential, and don't doubt yourself. I mean, it's crazy, because even with meeting Andrea, the way I met her, I heard her on a radio show, and it was just so much light coming from her. You could feel the energy and the upliftment and the encouragement. And the same thing with you, CG. It's like when I met you, it was just like light. And, if I could have a billboard, I just want like a permanent sun behind it, just shining, just shining light on people. That would be my billboard, because I'm all about energy and, the feel of it.
So a couple people said, now before I share mine, Arius said mine would say no risk, no reward. And then Mark said his would say keep going. And I would say on my billboard, all you need is you. A lot of times we think that we need other people to help us get to that next level. I actually think I had to learn this. I don't want to say the hard way, but I initially thought that I needed someone to help get to that next level. And each of us have our own unique abilities, and we need to lean into those. And we all were given everything that we need right here inside of us. So that's what mine would say. So do you guys have a favorite book that you like to read?
I got a bunch of favorites. Oh my goodness. I love self-help and motivational books. I love The Alchemist, The Secret, The Magic. It's this book called The Magic, and you just kind of walk through the process with the book. I love it. I love things that are going to uplift me and instruct me on how to be successful. That's my area.
Yeah, I like motivational books as well. I like a lot of business books. One book that I recently read that I really, really like, I know a lot of people follow Gary Vee, I kind of jumped on a little later of just kind of listening to what he has to say. And probably within the last month, I read Crushing It, and I really, really like that book. I think it's a great book for definitely anyone like in business or you want to get started on whatever it is. I definitely think that that's a great read. What about, do you have anything, CG?
So I do. A lot of favorites. Secret is one of my favorites. The Purpose Driven Life is one of my favorites. I actually just finished getting rid of getting done with a book called Option B, actually, which was a phenomenal read. But motivational books as well, business books, things of that nature. I do like to kind of engage in with. But Option B was a phenomenal read that I finished with. So.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about like like meditation and just taking some time out and everything. So it's kind of interesting because I have a Facebook friend who is a very, I guess, religious person. And she made some interesting comments recently. And I was like, oh, and it kind of made me like, take a moment to like think about what she was saying. And how she felt that she was a devout, Christian, and doing things like yoga, meditation, burning incense, all of those things were like against what it says in the Bible. And I'm not making this religious at all. But it had me thinking about what she was saying and did it really make sense? Like, I have a very open mind, right? And so it's not going to, that's your belief, that's my belief, whatever it is. And I kind of paused and it was like, for me, it was like, well, why would yoga, I was wondering why she felt like something where you just take a pause and you kind of control your own thoughts and mind, and just kind of slow down, just everything. Why would this be so bad? And for her, from like what I got, she felt at that moment when you are just kind of all over the place that you need to pause and like pray to God, and that should be where you should seek. And I'm just curious to see like what you guys or how you guys feel about this.
I think meditation and prayer are two sides of the same coin. Mm-hmm. For me, I grew up in the church. My father's a pastor. I've been in church my whole life. I used to actually I went to Bible college and I ran a youth ministry for almost 5 years. For me, meditation, the Bible says, be still, be still, be still. I mean, all throughout, I've read the Bible, Genesis to Revelation. So the Bible constantly tells us to be still. When we pray, it's more of us praying, putting out a petition, us doing the communicating. The Bible says be still because when you're still and you're quiet, you can kind of hear and your mind can be clear. Mm-hmm. And you need to be still and you need to hear. So to meditate is not, anything spooky. It's just be still. Yoga is just a natural stretching of the body that has health benefits. It's nothing really spooky about it. And a lot of these things that I've studied in yoga, a lot of these things predate the Bible, a lot of these practices. And I just believe that God has always spoken to us as humans. Before and prior to Jesus, God was there. The creator was there speaking to us. And these are just health things. People are really spooky about burning sage a lot of times. And my thing is, you don't have to do anything, like with meditation, yoga, sage. If that's not for you, it's just not for you. You have 4 different children, and I'm sure you communicate with all of them differently. Mm-hmm. So just imagine the creator of the universe has all these children. We may not all communicate with the creator the same. But with the sage is a natural cleanser. It purifies the air. If you take sage leaves and put them in your tea, it will help purify and detox your body. So these are things that God made. They're all natural. it's just nature. Like when I say holistic, I just say it's just nature. You don't have to use it. Like if you have a headache, you can take a Tylenol or you could take a nap. Who's to say that taking a nap is wrong, because the Bible doesn't say to take a nap. But a lot of times if you take a nap, you'll wake up and the headache will be gone. But I've ran into that a lot because I do yoga and I do meditation and I, burn sage and even with crystals and things like that. But all these things can be found in the Bible. Actually, in the Old Testament, before they went into the holies of holies, they burnt up a sweet smelling scent, sweet smelling fragrances. And if you notice, all the miracles in the Bible, they use the elements. Walking on the water, the burning of the bush, the priest had the 12 crystals, different color crystals in their chest plate. The priest did. And so all of this is like very, very biblical. But I think when people use different terms that we're not familiar with, it can, your immediate reaction can be to push it away. And like I said, everything isn't for everyone. Some people wake up and pray at 5 a.m. Some people wake up and pray at night. Who am I to say you're wrong or right? So that's just a little snippet of my intake on it. But I believe to the pure, all things are pure. And I believe that it's the intent that you do it in. I know people that are in the church that are beautiful people, that are wonderful people. I know people in the church that I don't even want to deal with them. I leave them over there. It's just they energy, they don't rock out. We don't mesh well. So, and then there are people that have different beliefs outside of mine that I can work very well with. So I just, I'm open. I have an open mind as well. I love people. And I believe that regardless of the energy that we choose to pour out, whether it's of a good energy or a negative energy, I believe that we all came from the same source.
Yeah.
So for me, when I hear people or listen to people, I more so look for, okay, is this connecting for my good or is this causing me some type of harm? And if it's for my good, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Rock out.
Is that how you feel, CG, or?
Pretty much. For me personally, I start my day in prayer. I, start my day with meditation. That's just something that draws me comfort. For me, I agree as well with what China was saying. It allows me that time to be still and to hear God clearly. So I do agree in that aspect. Like it gives me that time to kind of clear my head, and reset. So pretty much to piggyback off what she said. But for me personally, yes, I agree. I don't think it's a evil. I don't believe it's an evil doing. But for me, it's something that personally brings me comfort. So yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel, about it overall. I was like, it's just a way. It's not like you're doing yoga and you're like having these demonic like thoughts. It's just like it's a way to like so
yeah, it's just stealing your mind. But I'll be honest, for a person that's not a Christian, that's never been to church, even if you tell them some of the practices of Christianity, they'll be shocked. I mean, if you talk to a person, just someone in the middle of the rainforest that's never heard of, Jesus, a Bible, and you tell them, about a death and a resurrection or a communion and, drinking blood and eating flesh, they'd be like, oh my gosh, they're cannibals. So depending on where you were raised on this planet and who your parents were and what you were brought up with, your belief system, everybody has just different things that they, are governed by. So I'm really just non-judgmental to, what people believe and how they practice.
Right. System. So we are all connected through real estate. And we are crazy enough to be in this field. So obviously we must love it. So can you share what are some things that you like about or love about real estate?
For me, I love connecting with people. I love houses. I love seeing houses because it's like you never know what you're about to walk into. because sometimes the pictures are accurate and sometimes they're not. But I love I just love the properties. I love connecting with people, because starting off you think, oh well, I'm just going to be talking to people about houses, but no, people open up, they talk to you. It's a connection. It's a connection building business. It's a people business, a relational business. And I'm enjoying that, just building the relationships. And I'm learning right now. I feel like I'm on learn overload, but it's good because I feel the more I learn, the more confident I am in what I'm saying.
Yes.
I agree. It is definitely a relationship building profession, and I love every aspect of that. But I love it down to decorating. And I mean, every aspect of I love, you become people's therapist, you become marriage counselors, you become financial advisors, you build all these different relationships because, these people instill trust in you, so you become, it becomes more than just selling a house for me personally. You hear these people's journeys and share stories. So it becomes much bigger than I just sell real estate. And that's what really draws you to, the passion of it. So yeah, building relationships, learning and new things and meeting new people. It's a wonderful daily experience. It is.
Do you ladies think everyone should own a home?
Absolutely. I do. I'm working on it.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what about just in general, outside of owning a home, investing in real estate? Do you think people should invest in real estate?
You should be a homeowner and definitely invest in real estate as well. Those are two things in life everyone should be part of.
Yes, I'm learning that everybody needs a place to stay, and learning about this rental market is just like, wow, I need like 10 houses to put people in right now because they're there. They're really there. And I mean, I think it's amazing. And I think for women, like you did your video yesterday, Andrea, I think it's empowering for women. And 90% of the wealthiest people on this planet have invested in real estate. So why not just follow in the footsteps of those that are already great?
I say that all the time. Why reinvent the wheel? It's already the plan. It's already built. It's already built. We just have to kind of follow that. But I think for a lot of people, they're just afraid to make that first step. I get inboxes all the time. In regards to definitely wanting to get started investing in real estate, and they just don't know how or don't feel comfortable with just moving forward. So it's like everyone is looking for the perfect plan where they can follow this plan and there will be no roadblocks, mistakes, or anything that happens along the way. And so first things first, even a very experienced if we're talking real estate investor, there's going to be things that pop up that you didn't plan for. Once you pull back a wall or you look at, it's like, oh shoot, that's just something you have to deal with, and learning how to deal with that and move forward. And you get better over time. But I think the first thing, people are just afraid to take that first step of it. Is that kind of what you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's more so the financial aspect and the insecurity when you're starting something new. It's just like doing anything new, but you're looking at this like, okay, it's responsibilities that come with it, financial obligations that come with it. But I feel like it's the mindset that you go into with anything. If you go into something with a positive mindset, yes, there will be bumps in the road, but it's going to work out. It's just like anything, a friendship, a marriage, a business, anything that we do, there's that risk. But with no risk, there's no reward. So you just kind of got to go for it.
So Tanya asked, why are there not enough women investors? And it really it's just a male dominated field. And I think part of it is the fact that in general, men have that construction piece of it. I think for women, that's the biggest part that kind of holds them up, where they can maybe see the property and find a potential deal. But I think that whole construction piece of it and not understanding pricing and materials and everything is just kind of where that scares them. And so it just leaves a lot of women, out of this. But we're going to work to change that. So do you think it's hard to have conversations with people about real estate?
No. For me, a lot of times I find myself with people asking questions, just wanting to have the right answer. It's the more people that come and ask questions, it's crazy because it's like, oh wow, I never heard of that before. Hold on. Let me text Andrew real quick, because so many different things come up because everybody thinks differently. So one person will have one set of questions about a property, and you take somebody else to see it and they thinking something completely different that maybe didn't even cross your mind. So it's digging, it's exploration. But for me, I just want to make sure what I'm telling people is accurate so they can rely on what I said.
Right. What about you? Is it hard to have conversations for you?
I don't think it's hard at all to have a conversation about real estate. I actually find that, it is important, like you said, to have the accurate information to relate to your clients, because it's so many things we as real estate agents are aware of, and someone just getting into this aren't familiar and with some of the terms, so but just making sure that you can relate to them, so that they're informed about such a big financial decision. But I feel it brings a comfort to them once you explain thoroughly to them what it is that they're getting themselves to, and give them, more comfort in what it is that they're investing in. I think it opens the doors for so many things, but information is key. Information is definitely key.
I don't think people realize, at least for us, if you're dealing with Brick House Realty, how many resources that we have available for people that are buying, selling, whether it's insurance companies, contractors, loan officers, and really have the information, available for them. And I think sometimes they're getting, like, if you're investing in real estate, you should be dealing with an agent who is or has a background in that real estate investing world, and not just any agent that maybe your loan officer gave to you. And same thing, if just buying a traditional home, it's like not working with any agent. Some agents will put you in any house. It doesn't matter, and try to make sure if your pre-approval is, 200,000, they're going to make sure you spend all 200,000. Whereas, we like to look at it as you don't have to spend at the top of your budget. We want to maintain a lifestyle in there as well. And if you like to go out to eat and you're at the top of your budget, because the loan officer is going to approve you for more house than you really need. So that's big on there. Is there any tips from working with clients? Any tips that you would give? We'll start with somebody that may be renting. I know, China, you said you're seeing these rents. And CG, just seeing the rents and what they're going for. Is there any tips you would give someone who's currently renting?
I feel like a lot of people who rent could actually buy. I feel like they just don't, it's just lack of knowledge. Okay, your credit is a little messed up. Let's fix that. Let's work on fixing that, so you can probably be paying less for a mortgage on this property. You're renting it for this, but this could be your house. And so it's just the shift in the mindset of, going in and renting, and that fear. For me, a lot of the renters that I've encountered, they can actually buy if they wanted to. And then I think some people, it's something they've never done before. So it's something new. So it's just exploring it, learning about it. And everybody that comes to me that's a renter, I discuss that with them. Like, maybe not right at this moment, and we need to get you in something, but let's put together a plan. You know, let's get this credit right. Let's do this, let's do that, and take the necessary steps so you can, you know, be obtaining the equity and you're just not throwing money away with your rent every month.
Yeah.
So to touch on that as well, I think when I initially have a client who's interested in a rental property, my first question, number one, is what they're paying. And then number two, why aren't you a homeowner? I do think people have a misconception of, you know, just not being informed actually. And so, you know, telling them that it's not an overnight transaction. We can actually do things, you know, to put them in a better position. You know, some people are, you know, so skeptical about even purchasing a house because number one, they think that they have to be at a certain credit score or have a certain, you know, amount of down payment or, you know, available to them. And what the things that they don't know is there are so many different levels and options out there for them, but they're not informed of these things. So that's where we, you know, come into play just as far as letting them know there's so many programs. If your credit is an issue, we can work on that. If down payment assistance is an issue, we can work on that. But I think, again, it's seriously based off of them just not being informed, you know,
Right.
And understanding that this is a process, even if, you know, if it's some things that we need to work on to get you to that level, then let's do that. But let's not be so quick to just, you know, throw all your money into a rental because you don't have the information needed to be a homeowner. So, you know, I think, again, it's just a shift of the mindset, you know, thinking outside of that box of, oh, I can't be a homeowner because I don't meet these qualifications. So people don't realize people are seriously paying mortgage payments for what they're paying in rent. Like, like when they hit me with numbers, I'm like, oh my God, that is a mortgage payment. Like, why aren't you a homeowner? You know what I mean? So not being so quick to, oh, let me just, no, change your mindset. Like, don't give up so easily just to, oh, I can never be a homeowner. Call us. That's what we're here for. We're here to guide you. We're here to get you in front of the right people to get the credit score where it needs to be. You know what I mean? So that in the short future, you could be a homeowner. You could have the down payment assistance that you need. You can, you know, meet all the requirements that it takes to be a homeowner. Don't just, you know, throw it all away as if it's not an option. It's an option for more people than they actually know.
Yeah, a lot of times people really don't, they just think off the top like, oh, I can't afford a home, and they just give up on that thought process. So we can definitely help with that. So you guys have been through some houses and you see how the property looks. And so we all know what a good house, you know, looks like. And then you see some of those houses, like, you know, you kind of give a sigh. They want to see this. Is there any tips that you would give a homeowner, someone who's thinking about selling their home? You know, a tip on preparing their home for a sale, or what can they do to ease that process that would help buyers out when they come through the property?
Okay. For me, I think one of the biggest things would be like just a clear coat of paint. It just the visual stimulation. Like I went through a house and the home was lovely, but I think just even like little like blotches on the walls and things like that, or just like really minute things that you could do to make it just a little more appealing. Just minor things make a big difference. But I'd say just like something as simple as fresh coat of paint or just cleanliness, cleanliness and organization. It brings the mindset of a person that's looking, because you want their mind to kind of be able to imagine a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, what they could be for them. So those will be, it's my two.
For me, staging. Staging will be a big thing, and not necessarily saying that you just have to go out and buy all of this lovely furniture, but you are presenting your home to someone who, you know, want to walk in to see this as something that can be theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, things like that, and not, like I said, small throw pillows or rugs, but cleanliness is key. Like if you just eat, like I said, not to go out and spend all this money on stationing, but if you prep a house, and make it look appealing, it is a winning piece. To have a seller feel like, to have a buyer feel like, oh, this could be home for me. So just little things like that make a huge difference.
Yeah, that whole decluttering and getting out that stuff. A lot of times people don't want to feel uncomfortable because they're still living in the house. And you have to think about it, though. There's actually quite a bit of like completely renovated, like houses that have been fixed and flipped, renovated homes that they're actually competing with. And if they can't, so when you go into a renovated home and it's fresh paint, new kitchen, everything is freshly done and you love it. And then when you go to look at their home, it's like you kind of mentioned, China, you can't visualize like, well, where am I put my furniture or what? Because you're seeing that other person's stuff. And so what about, I know we talked about renters, we talked about sellers, now buyers. And we kind of touched on this a little bit as well, but for a buyer, what would you suggest that what can they do to help the process along?
Well, as a buyer, to help the process along, it's almost crazy because right now it seems like as soon as something great gets on the market, it's gone. So I would say to help the process along is to take action. If it's something that you want, act. Because something will be there and people are like, oh, that house, and these houses that I'm looking at, it's like they're going fast. Mm-hmm. So if you want it, take the initiative and step forward with it, because houses are going like hotcakes. Mm-hmm. The good houses, the deals, they're going like hotcakes.
Yeah, I just make sure to communicate with my clients to make sure they understand the market that we're dealing with right now. As China said, to be prepared. And be prepared as far as while we're touring this property, if we're in the kitchen, if you want to put an offer on this property, now's the time to make me aware that you want to do it, just because, the inventory is low. So when things are coming to the market, they are flying off just as soon as they get on there. So just understanding the market, making sure that your clients, your buyer clients, understand what the market looks like, and that we can't push our feet if it's something that they are, indeed interested in. Now's the time.
Yeah. So Mark is saying get pre-approved. So this definitely is helpful to get pre-approved. But we do like for you to talk to us as an agent first before you reach out to the lender. And the reason why is because we are familiar with several different loan products, and each lender offers something different. And based on the conversation that we're going to have with you as the buyer as to time frame of when you're buying, do you need down payment money? Are you going to need closing costs? Where you're going to move? What type of job you have? Each loan officer or mortgage company or a traditional bank, they offer different products. And whereas like a traditional bank may even have a down payment assistance product, some of them, they restrict where you can actually move to. So you might even see the city that you want to move to, but they will only allow you to move within a certain block within the city. Whereas you may want something where it's outside of that territory. So we need to get you with a lender that is capable of giving you what you need. So that's why we want to talk to you first, because we have resources available for you. Not all agents will know this, but we have those resources available for you. And it starts with having that conversation. And the other thing that I really do want to touch on too, that I think is important for buyers to really understand how we as real estate agents work. We do not get paid until the property closes, right? So we're working with you all this time. Sometimes people say real estate agents are overpaid, but you really don't know what we go through and how hard we really work for you on the back end, because our job is to make this as seamless as possible. Sometimes there's some drama that's happening in the background that you don't even know about because we just handle it and squash it for you. Like CG said earlier, we become the counselor, we become just everything for you in that transaction. So loyalty is very important when working with a real estate agent. We need you to be loyal to us, and as loyal we are going to be to you. So it's just not okay for you to work with this agent today, call another agent to see properties tomorrow, and then call another agent after that because maybe I couldn't get you there quick enough or in your terms, because we don't operate as what you call a Pop-Tart agent. We'd like to schedule appointments. Obviously, we understand the urgency in this market and we are going to get you into these houses quickly, but just having that loyalty or courtesy and having a conversation. If you feel that agent is not moving fast enough, have that conversation with that agent. But this is a relationship business, and we need to have a trusted relationship with you because we are working on your behalf. So I just think sometimes people don't really understand how that works. Like, no, we do a lot of work for free and don't even get paid because either the transaction never closes for various reasons, or that we get to the end of it, or you decide not to move forward, but we never get paid from that. The seller pays, or that listing agent pays us that commission on the property. So I think that definitely is important. So we've been here on an hour. I don't want to keep you guys that much longer, but I do want to have you guys share how can people find you and follow you and connect with you guys.
Well, again, my name is China Parker. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as Beautiful, BEYOUTOFUL. But I spend most of my time on Instagram DMs, all of that. The best way to contact me is to give me a call. You can call or text 330-400-0644. But if you want to connect with me via social media, the best way to do is follow me on one of my social platforms. But to communicate, I communicate much more rapidly on Instagram than anything else.
Okay. And what about you, Stevie?
Again, everyone, I am CG Newman. I can be reached on Facebook or Instagram as CG_BrickHouse_Realtor. You can also reach out to me by phone. My phone number is 216-282-4759. I will. I prefer either phone call or DMs is fine as well. So reach out on me for one of those platforms. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. You can find me on the Brick House Realty page if you have any questions for me, but any one of us can help you answer any of your questions if you're thinking about real estate. But I think this was fun. I hope you ladies thought it was fun. We have to do this again. So thank you for joining me. And have a wonderful day, everyone.
Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.